But it's just when you are open and vulnerable with somebody, that runs a risk of they can hurt you. That's the whole thing about vulnerability is you're giving people the opportunity to hurt you. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Limitless Conversation. Welcome back to part 2. If you have not seen part 1 of this convo with my bestie, then check out the last episode, guys. But welcome back to the Limitless Conversations podcast. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. I am your host, Authentically Sean, and here on this podcast, we talk about expanding and being our best limitless selves, where we are believing ourselves to be limited and how we are busting through those limitations. And we have a special guest, my bestie.
Very special, honey.
Jackie. Say hi. All right, guys. So, yes, in part 1, we covered our whole history. We gave y'all all the tea. All right, now that the tea has been given, I really want to talk about how we have grown into our friendship now.
Okay.
And I really, in a lot of ways, I always like joke. Like, I think Jackie's like my soulmate. She's my soulmate bestie.
So obsessed with me.
And we're like twins. Like, we need to unpack the whole twin thing because we're so alike in so many ways. But at the same time, I feel like God is working on us both right now in our individuality too. Mm-hmm. And I remember we had a talk in the car, and I was like, the thing that's so beautiful about our friendship, and even in twin relationships, like twin flames, I heard people say this kind of thing, is it requires like each person to do their work. Yeah. And so for us, I feel like in order for our friendship to work, like we don't get to have like a surface level relationship. Like our friendship.
Cut me off. This isn't serving me.
This isn't serving. I hate you. Yeah, so I need this thing to stop freezing.
Yes.
When I was not paying for the subscription, it was not freezing. Since I started paying for it, they start showing it behind.
Not the free trial.
Yeah, when I had the free trial, they was showing off. It was good. Now they got me in. They trying to play with me. So
look a little. No, wait, this way.
Shawty been in the gym. So yeah, our friendship is like that's why I feel like we're so close though, because of all the deep and intense conversations that we have. It allows, and we're like, I bond through emotion. I believe that you bond through emotion. You can tell me if you don't or do.
Yeah, I do.
So, it requires us to stop doing that. It requires us to, become the best versions of ourselves, because any issue that a lot of times we're having with each other is really not each other. It's really just our own internal thing that we have to like nip. Mm-hmm. So that's why I want to talk about like, okay, now that we've discussed our past, right? And that was the other day. This is what I called you for, but I never got to get to it because I had realized when I found out we had gotten back friends in 2019. I'm like, we've been back friends for 4 years. It doesn't feel like that long.
Yeah, but within that 4 years, it took us a while for us to be a duo and not a threesome. Yeah. At first, we were heavily reliant on the threesome.
Yeah.
Like we didn't talk on the phone unless.
Unless on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took us a minute. I mean, not that long, but
yeah.
I mean,
that's what it is. Too, yeah. I'm like, when I thought about it, I'm like, it does not feel like we have been reconnected for 4 years. Like,
time is
it. If someone asked me how long have you and Jackie been friends again, I would say like a year. I'd be like, yeah, a year.
Right, because it doesn't feel like
that long.
I mean, I wouldn't say a year. A year would be exaggerating.
I would say a year. I'd be like a year, because it just was
a year. I just met that girl.
That's what it feels like. That's really what it feels like. So I want to talk about that period of from us first reconnecting to allowing ourselves to start to be close again. Because like you said, when we first reconnected, it was like, it's the 3 amigas, right? Me, Jackie, and Taylor. And so it was weird for us to have a friendship outside of like the threesome. Yeah. Even though like I individually had a relationship with Taylor, Jackie individually had a relationship with Taylor, but for some reason, like me and her were having a hard time having a friendship. What do you think that was about?
I don't know. I think some of it could have been fear. Some of it could have been just a level of comfort and not knowing where to start, not knowing how to do it or go about it.
I feel like something with fear. Hold on, because I feel like we talked about that. I'm trying to think of what that was though. Yes, I know what one of mine was.
Okay.
I know that one of mine was like a fear of doing something wrong
Okay.
to like mess the friendship up again. So I felt like I was tiptoeing a lot
Okay.
in our friendship and not wanting to mess it up. So I know that fear was definitely one for me of why, like, in the beginning, I didn't want to get too close.
I think I had a guard up. I mean,
Yeah.
naturally, but yeah, I think I had a guard up, but also I think I categorized both of you. I categorized the threesome friendship in a specific way to where I wasn't going to allow, like, I didn't see us like being close like that. Because I remember one time, this was somewhat after I had invited you all to one of my friends' birthdays.
Okay.
And I think it started raining that day or something. And I don't know, but it was one of those times where like no one said they couldn't go until like the very last minute. So that was already irritating. And then I think after that I didn't respond or something. Cause remember, like, so anyway, so then you called maybe a day or two later and you had that conversation. So I think this was like probably the start of us trying to like define what this was.
I wish I could remember the situation. But
Yeah.
no, it's not important. You can go ahead.
But you called us and you were like, where do you see, you were like, I'm trying not to shut down. You were like, where do you see, not where, but I think you said like, how do you see our friendship? And you would ask both of us. And I was just like, I don't know, y'all my friends. Like I kept like, it was very surface. It was like, y'all my friends because I mean, I didn't see myself like going deep, like, oh, I just want us to be really close. I mean, I wasn't. And then also I was still like upset with y'all. So it was just like, y'all my friends. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay, I vaguely remember this.
Then I think, and that was just a talk for us to do better communicating. Cause, and then you were like, well, Jackie, you were being weird. Like, you know, you didn't say anything after, you know, Taylor said you couldn't come. Cause you never responded saying you couldn't come.
Okay.
And so you're like, well, Jackie, you were being weird after Taylor said after Taylor said she couldn't come, like your response was something, or you didn't respond or whatever. You like, you're just being weird. So it's like, I didn't know like what to say or how to say it, whatever.
Okay.
And so that led us to like have that conversation about like, you know, where do we
close to the mic too.
Oh, where do we see us? And
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's like the start of kind of trying to get on track.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I don't quite remember. Like, I do remember there being the awkward period, and I remember us having our growing phase of allowing ourselves to start having more of a friendship. And I think a big part of that was just that, allowing ourselves and trusting in the process. Because I remember, like, there was a point, she gonna remember as soon as I start saying this, I was like, you know, Jackie, we're cool, but I feel like I can't just sit on the phone.
Here we go.
I can't just sit on the phone and just talk about nothing with you. I feel like I gotta be.
That irked me so much.
I
think Taylor co-signed, like, Taylor, hush. I think she did. I believe. Because you were like, I can do that with Taylor, but like with you, it was just like,
I gotta be serious or have some kind of serious talk. I think that was just us not finding our flow of like, because like, you know, we always like share the same sense of humor and the same jokes and stuff. So it was kind of like us like getting back into that. It's kind of like we had a little bit of different styles. So it was like we needed to merge them back together. And so we hadn't done that yet. So it was like, I can't just sit on the phone and just, you know, when that's your friend, y'all just sit on the phone and just listen to each other breathe. And don't mean nothing. So
I didn't like that comment though.
Yeah.
It made me, like, now that I think about it, like, more, it made me feel like I was doing something wrong, you know, and then it was almost like I was being ostracized from the group because it was like, we can't, you know, we talk to each other on the phone, you know, and just chit chat, shoot the shit, but we can't do that with you. Like, I feel like I have to come with something or be serious or have to, you know, and it was just kind of like, what? Because then I have friendships where we can just sit, you know, so then it just made me feel like, damn, like I'm the drama. Yeah. So
I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention.
It's like, no. But yeah, so
yes,
come a long way though, for sure.
We have. So I wish I could remember that point that we were talking about in the last episode. But either way, the second part of it was the fear of friendship. And so something that I had realized recently I'm going to skip ahead now because whatever that point was, I will have to come back to it. I'm sure in conversation it'll come back. But recently I realized that I was having this really weird fear of our friendship because
We haven't talked about this?
no,
Oh, okay.
actually we haven't. This is fresh.
Okay, I love
Yeah.
that.
So, because I was thinking this is like, recently, like we've kind of been like, you've been doing your own thing, I've been doing my own thing, our own like growth thing. And so, let me tell you one of my things. If we don't talk for 2 days or 3 days, it's like, and like, you mad at me? What I do? Like I start
say what it really is.
What?
What you really be saying?
What are we saying?
We're not friends no more. Me and Jackie, we're not best friends no more. Like, girl.
No, she didn't want to be like, we're not best friends anymore. I'd be like, what did I do? I'd be like, that is something wrong, or like she hates me. Like, what did I like? I
or
go
if I don't
through.
answer your call, you'd be like, oh, we're not friends no more. Like, freaking sick.
I'll be thinking something's wrong. Like, what happened? Why you didn't answer my call? Clingy. Which we need to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Camera. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know why this thing. Yeah, that's your perfect time.
That was perfect. It just did it again. You know what?
So, so I was sitting with it, right? Because we hadn't talked for like 2 days. And then it made this thing come up of, because one of my big challenges in our friendship was allowing myself to have a best friend, which sounds weird because I had best friends, but our best friend relationship is very different. What I will say is that me and Jackie's friendship has allowed my perception of what best friend is to change, because I've always been a very low maintenance friend, right? And that's tied to me being a low maintenance child. It ties to a lot of stuff, but I've always been like a very low maintenance friend. And so it's kind of like I would just listen to other people's problems, but I never really talked about me.
Mm-hmm.
So with like me and you, like I talk about me. I talk about things that are bothering me, whether it's family, friends, work, whatever. Like I tell it all to you. So we didn't talk for like 2 or 3 days, and I'm like, this bitch know everything about me. Like if we stop being friends,
okay,
she could really wreak a little havoc because she knows some stuff. She knows some stuff, and so that kind of came up, and I was like, well, why do I feel like that? And I'm like, I think for me, I've always been in a relationship. So my confidant has always been my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been like my best friend. So I was like, oh my God, I have some I might need to unpack that or work through that fear, because that fear could keep me from connecting with you, or could keep me from sharing things with you.
Yeah. Because
it's like, well, I don't know if she's going to be around. I don't know if we're going to be friends. And so I remember talking to God about it, and it was kind of like, just needing to accept that what's going to happen is going to happen. And almost for me, it's like I always have to always accept the worst case scenario. So it's like, all right, y'all stop being friends. She tells everything about everything you ever said to her. And it's like, all right, whatever. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it if it happens, And so coming to that allowed me to be like, okay, just be in the moment. Don't be so worried about the future.
Right.
And it wasn't even about your character. The time that I think you would even do something like that. But it's just when you are open and vulnerable with somebody, that runs a risk of they can hurt you. That's the whole thing about vulnerability, is you're giving people the opportunity to hurt you.
Yeah.
So I realized that there was some fear for me about us being really, we talked about that too a little bit, about sharing really intimate things that we think, or dreams that maybe we don't tell other people.
Yeah.
We had to work through being open, sharing with one another, those kind of things. Do you want to share a little bit about that in your perception? Because this hoe had the hardest time calling me her best friend. And that's why the whole point of fear of friendship came up, because I'm like, Jackie, we're best friends.
I don't see it all the time.
And I would say it all the time. And then at some point I remember you told me it was uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but you were like, I can't say that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't say the word.
Yeah, she's like, I don't say that. I don't call people that.
I don't say the word. It's just yeah, it's weird. But it happened, after we stopped talking. So it was just because when we were in high school, we called each other best friend.
Yeah.
But after that, it was just kind of I don't really want to do that. So maybe it was just a fear of getting close to somebody, even though my, I had a close friend.
Mm-hmm.
But we were kind of one and the same when it come to that. We didn't really say it that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna say I struggle with it, but it's still something that's I don't say it all the time. And I can be in the house by myself and it's still like if I'm talking, I'll kind of like skip over the word sometimes. I'm so weird. Like I'll skip over the word or I'll like say it very quiet.
I already told me that you were like, that's
yeah, it's just like, then it's like I kind of like skip over. It's like I don't like fully say it. I've gotten a little better with that, but I think a lot of that has to do with just not wanting to get close to somebody like that because that name holds weight. So yeah, it's just, I mean, because she says it all the time, right? In text, I'm like, oh, like, okay, bestie. I'm like, Sean, like, you know what it is, girl. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of trust. It's a lot of trust, That's what I'm saying. Like, I
feel like I should just leave it in there because, like, y'all, at this point,
right,
it's life, and if y'all act like y'all ain't never, I've been fixing my straps.
Leave the last one and not the first 10.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a lot of trust. My fear, what we talked about in the car was what we bond over, and so when we move on to these next chapters, like sometimes I'm like, well, what are we gonna like bond over? So that kind of makes me.
You
want
to talk about what we bond? You don't have to go way into it, but like a little bit if you want. They can have context.
So we bond over. I was gonna say build a bear, but I'm not even gonna do that. We bond over like we manifest a lot of things. And because I'm a big, dreamer, visionary, so like we bond over that because we can talk about things that we want to happen, that we can see happening for ourselves. We talk about our future lives. It's like literally like we build our life. I'm like, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have this. Okay, what do you think I'll have? Oh yeah, you're right. I would have that. Like, okay, what kind of job? Okay, what kind of like we do all that, and we go down to the nitty gritty. We go down to like scenarios. That's like our big one though.
Yes.
And so that's what we talk about. So I recently brought it up. Like, I think I was here. I was like, are we still gonna be close? Like when we get into relationships, because it's like
we talk a lot about like our person.
So
it's like when we can't talk about that anymore,
right? And like we have our person now. So it's like, what are we gonna talk about? But we found some things, like, you know what, like, yeah, let's not even worry about that because
how'd you get over that?
When we talked about it, because you're like, we're talking about like, kids and career and like it's really just the things that we talk about will change, like, because we're in a different chapter, like the subjects will shift. So it's not like the topics it's not like the actual conversation is going to cease. It's just like we're just going to be shifting because we're going to be in different spaces. So instead of like talking about our guys, we're going to be talking about
I was telling the joke we
made. What? Oh. Like, hurry up, we got 30 minutes.
we were talking about this was her. She was talking about, I ain't gonna say credit for her joke because it was funny. She was talking about like, all right, we going because we're talking about our men, like our man's gonna have this and this and this, and we're gonna we're gonna have our man at that point, and we're gonna get together like, all right, we got 30 minutes to talk about the dream kind of man we want. What?
All right, quick. We got 30 minutes. He about to pick me up. So, like, do you think he's gonna be like, girl,
you already got him. Let's talk about it. Get something new. Write a new book. Dang.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But no, for sure. That was definitely because I get that because we talk about it. Like, what's funny is even last time we hung out, I don't know if you did it too, but I also was like challenging myself to not talk about it just to see if we could like bond over something else.
This was what did we do
last time? We just
we have date nights every week, every Friday. This is my boyfriend. You know what's so crazy? In high school, I like put your name in my phone as boyfriend at one point.
No.
Yes, like that was a thing. Like it was like we did it. I don't think you did it to your phone, but it was like a thing because I showed you. Like, because I think at one point we were calling each other like, "Hey, boyfriend" or something,
Wow.
And I did that, and I remember someone like looked at my phone like, "Boyfriend," like. Down.
What a full circle moment.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like we talk about now, I'm always like, we should enjoy these moments because once we have men and children, like it won't be the same.
Yeah.
Like, some people complain about like being single or having these things. It's like these moments that you have right now while you're single, like you'll never get to have. Like once you have a husband, ideally y'all stay together forever. you'll never get this like this. Like, we might not be able to do date nights every
Yeah.
Friday. Like, we talked about, like, I can call her
we
now at
still
10
do.
o'clock on no, Fridays are our date nights for sure.
Yeah.
That still consists. But
Yeah.
like, I call her like 10 o'clock at night sometimes, and I'm like, the other night I was like, when we get men, like, we're not gonna be able to do this, so let's enjoy it now
Right.
because we're gonna be, baby, it's sexy time, honey. I can't talk
We
right
already
now.
got a married friend, so we know the limits.
We-
Like, what time is it? No, we ain't calling her.
we can't call her past like
Mm-mm.
7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Can't call because we know what the hours. Once the sun go down,
Right.
the jaws come down. Let me.
But we also talked about like the kind of friends too. Like, we're gonna have keys to each other's houses.
Yeah.
Like, this is my house.
First of all,
And where's your snacks?
She got the code to get up in here, so if she wants to,
Right,
she can
like-
get up in here.
No, I can't. 'Cause I can't even get through the freaking thing.
You can't. She can't get through.
Can I go through the stairwell?
Yeah, you could. There's way you can get up here, without-
Crazy.
but you can't. But you just can't get in the door.
Fire escape. I'm outside. Where you at? Like, what? I'm in Arlington. Sean, we gotta go.
But okay.
She trying to start me.
There's so much to unpack.
We got to do part 5.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna do part 5.
How long
because
is this one? Only 20 minutes. Okay, so let's just finish this up though. The things that we get to do now, we won't get to do once we, once you get in a relationship. So if you're someone who, like, you have a best friend or whatever, you're not in a relationship yet and you're feeling down about it, number one, sit with your best friend, chat about it. It feels like they're there already. It feels like your man's already in your world and manifesting quantum, all that kind of stuff. But also just enjoy the fact that these moments, like, that you get to have with your friends, that you get to have with your family, it will be different when you have your own family.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll never get to have these moments again. And I think that's been, like, one of the big things for me too. Even, like, being here, not being in a relationship is like,
That part is kind of scary though.
really?
A little bit.
What do you?
Like, it's kind of, I mean, it's
We think about never having it again, or when you think about
kind of, because it's like, it's not that you'll never have it. It'll just be different.
it'll be different.
So, but sometimes it is kind of like, oh, it's kind of sad to think, like, although, like, we'll be friends, like, it's just going to be a little bit different. Like, it's just not going to be the same as now.
Yeah.
I'm clingy, so it's going to be kind of like, so it's just.
Yeah, we be fake clingy, and then like fake clingy, and then also at the same time,
What, HBIC?
no, I was gonna say,
There's
like,
a lot of contradictory things going on.
it's
Like, we clingy, we HBIC.
it's like love me, don't love me. It's
Yeah.
like camera. I'm so sorry if y'all watching the visuals. If you listen to audio, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's like, I want to call you, but I just talked to you yesterday. I don't want to bother you.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of.
And then I call
we
him,
have
like,
to battle.
why you ain't call me yesterday? Yeah. Like, I don't care.
It's like, I don't want to feel like I'm bothering her, and she's like, you're not bothering me. And call me, and
Right.
I'm like, oh, like, remember that night I, like, came up and I was like, I'm gonna call you when I get upstairs. Like, we had just
Oh
we
my
literally
gosh,
spent all night
yes.
together, and I was like, I'm gonna call you when I get upstairs so I can talk to you, while you drive home. And then I got up here and I was like, well, I don't want to, like, bother her while she's driving home. We just
Mind you,
spent
I'm in
all-
the car, like waiting for, like, my phone to ring, and I'm, like, crossing the bridge and everything. I'm like, okay, because I give you a little time to, like, settle, but I'm like, girl, it's been like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't live that far.
the drive is not that far away.
And I think we talked, like, maybe, like, did you call? No, I think you end up calling me, and I was, like, pulling up maybe.
I don't think I did. I think we talked the next day.
No way.
I
No.
don't think we talked the same day.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did.
You sure? I swear I don't think we talked that day. And I remember telling you why I didn't call you. The next time I think we did it, I actually did call you. And then I think we talked about it.
No, I don't think we. No.
I don't think I called you that day. I'm telling you, I don't think I called you that day.
No, I think you did. Because that's very unlikely.
I'm telling you, I don't think I called you. But the thing is, like, yeah, there's these contradictory things of, like, that's why I have to do my emotional work to realize, like, it's not that I'm bothering her. That's my own trigger. That's my own stuff that I have from my past. So it's like, I'm not bothering her. And of course, the things work out perfectly because my besties also like to be in her own space. So it's like, of course, I'm like, I don't want to bother her. I understand to be in her own space sometimes. But a lot of times our, like, cycles are synced up. So if she wants to be alone, normally I want to be alone. It kind of works out. But yeah, it's just having to work through the mental things. Even the same thing with the HBIC thing. It's like us having to both realize, listen, we have to figure out how to both be HBICs because we both are. And that's also part of, I think, the twin thing too that we have or whatever. So I think God's having us grow, expand ourselves, because it's like, then we'll know how to coexist with other HBICs and, like, how we can both also shine. I know my whole thing is, like, putting people in a box. Like, I need you to be this way. And that's been my thing of with you is, like, not putting her in a box.
We can
like,
talk about that too later.
Yeah.
That's part of like the steps to the friendship.
Yeah. Yeah. So not putting each other in boxes and all that kind of stuff. But okay, y'all.
And also I think it's just also a matter of respecting like who the other person is.
Yeah.
You know, like you have your ways, you have my ways. Not saying that to use as an excuse all the time, but sometimes it's just like, you know, because you know, like I can kind of be to myself sometimes. So
yeah,
you know, so yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely and then not thinking that it's like a thing I did.
A thing, yeah.
Or sometimes like I don't think something's wrong with her. Sometimes it just might not be nothing wrong with her. She just might be wanting to be by herself.
Yeah, but sometimes you do feel it though.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I do feel it. Yeah,
she in my business, girl. Oh my gosh, obsessed.
So, did we give enough tips? I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like I wanted to. There's so much to dive into, but I know we have dinner.
Shawnee, baby, you are trying to starve me. Honey.
All right, y'all. Well,
my stomach look good, but I'm trying to fill it out.
And I wanted to take photos for when the guys. I thought our reservation's at 9:30. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, maybe I can get her to come back and.
Oh, do it when we get back tonight.
We're gonna be drunk.
Be drunk episode. Ain't got a food baby.
Ain't got a food baby.
We're gonna be in our pajamas. Your body like a snake, ma.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go. We have to do a quick limitless thing. How we decided to be limitless.
Yeah, this is actually very challenging.
Yeah, we have to find a new one for the second part. Okay, so how are we deciding? Every episode ends with how are we deciding to be limitless. I might honestly combine both of these episodes. This one was only 20 minutes. I don't know yet though. So, but just in case, how are we deciding to be limitless post this conversation? You want to go first this time around?
I'll go first. Okay. I'm deciding to be limitless by really just trusting God. You know, we talked about the friendship and, you know, my fears and your fears. But, you know, on my side is I just have to trust God into where he's leading our friendship. And just, you know, just trusting him really and not allowing that fear to hinder what we have now or we're trying to build. So that would be mine.
Okay.
That was good.
That's good. That's good. Okay. I am deciding to be limitless by I just lost mine. Okay, hold on.
Like, do you close your eyes all the time when you do yours? I'm gonna close my eyes and do mine.
Yeah, so I think I gotta close my eyes to think. Okay. I am deciding to be limitless by acknowledging my triggers and my triggers at my past triggers. I'm not claiming that there continues to be triggers of mine and moving beyond them, like acknowledging them, but going forward anyway. Acknowledging that like whatever I'm thinking sometimes isn't real. And so sometimes you gotta let things play out. Yeah. And that ties in with yours too. Trusting God. So yes. Well, guys, thank you guys for watching, hanging out with me and my bestie, y'all. We gotta bring her back for another episode because there's
y'all like my voice. Y'all want me back
because there is so much to unpack, y'all, in this thing. So yes, there'll be other parts, but
for sure.
That's it for this conversation, you guys. We gotta go to dinner. We love y'all. If y'all want to follow me, it is all that authentically Sean. And the podcast is Limitless Conversations. Everything will be in the description. Okay, so if you guys want to follow me, you guys can follow me there.
Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe.
Yes, make sure you guys comment, share y'all's thoughts, and all the good stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. Follow the podcast, rate the podcast, all that good jazz. So. Well, I love you guys. And
I love you too.
And we will talk to you guys. Well, I will talk to you guys next week. And hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon.
Soon, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.